initiated for students who are in that 18 to 21-year-old age range who are still served by their school district. And there's a whole range of what these look like. And we don't have time to go into the gory details, but perhaps this afternoon, if you're interested. Some of these programs are initiated by the college, and I think we're going to see that grow drastically because of the change in the Higher Ed Act. Some are initiated by adult service organizations. Like in Vermont, the Howard Center uses Medicaid funds to support students with intellectual disabilities at the University of Vermont and a local, I think it was Champlain Community College. Some are initiated by individual students and families all over the country, and we don't have a good handle, although I get a lot of calls from students, individual students and family members wanting to know if there's anything in their neighborhood. But I know things are happening on the individual level. And then there's a combination of all the above. People, yes. Post-secondary education. PSE, thank you for asking that. We're just acronym happy. I don't know if it's human services or if every field is that way, I suspect. We did survey those 250 programs, and the data I'm reporting is based on that survey. And the top 5 challenges that we found that people reported are these. This has also changed dramatically because the first one used to be expectations, low expectations that professionals, family members, and individual students themselves had for themselves. It's quite dramatic that, and now it's parent expectations are much what people are reporting as a challenge. But funding is the #1 challenge, which is good. It's really interesting to see this change over time because now people are starting to think about, well, maybe we do want that on our campus. How are we going to pay for this? Because quite frankly, the types of services and supports are more intense to make this successful. Okay, a nice segue into funding strategies. You heard me mention Medicaid waiver. Those are a possibility. Money follows the person. Actual dehabilitation dollars. Folks in New York are using DAHAB dollars. They're declaring themselves as a dehabilitation program, but it's a post-secondary education program in the college, within the context of a college. People are getting really creative, although I have to say they did not want me to use their name. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, the preamble to that of 2004 indicates that school districts can use IDEA funds to pay for this. They don't like, a lot of school districts don't like this going public either. One I want to highlight because it's grossly underutilized, national service, you know, the City Year, Vista, those types of opportunities. People who serve are given a living stipend and an educational award, and I think it's up to close to $5,000 that they can then use to pay for their own college education and taking courses. A novel idea. The other one, like I know Voc Rehab in South Carolina, they're piloting a program where their Voc Rehab is paying tuition and fees for students. In Massachusetts, there's a tuition waiver through Voc Rehab, but there's some strings attached to it. In our state, we also have a line item in our state budget. If any of you are interested, I know our economy is quite awful, just like here in California and probably many other states across the country. Although we just heard, what state was it? North Dakota has a surplus. Of all states, I wouldn't have thought of it. If people are interested, though, it's possible. We'll gladly give you information. We can put you in touch with our state representative who actually ushered us through our state budget. And foundations. There are a number of programs, one large one in upstate New York that has managed to secure foundation funds to really begin to grow this across New York State. Okay, paid employment. Who's here from Voc Rehab? Raise your hands high. Okay. One of the projects we have has us looking at secondary data analysis. So we've been looking at vocational rehabilitation agencies across the country have to report out annually. We have that data, and what we looked at were those youth who participated in a post-secondary education, there's that PSE again, were 26% more likely to leave Voc Rehab with a paid job. And many Voc Rehab agencies across the country will tell you they don't support students in going to college necessarily. It varies drastically from state to state. But they also, those individuals also earned 73% higher income. And you can we have a fast fact of this on the Think College website, so you can download it if you're interested. These are individuals with intellectual disabilities, which Voc Rehab refers to as those individuals who have mental retardation and other developmental disabilities. These are individuals with more significant challenges. I know. Who knew Voc Rehab was doing this? Okay. Abilities such as an intellectual disability access college in typical ways. By that I mean we're advocating that people don't create additional mechanisms for students to get into college. Use what exists. All courses and activities are inclusive and adhere to natural proportions. Do people know what I mean by natural proportions? 80-20, right? Not. What we're saying is don't overload a course with more than 1 or 2 students with a disability. It's not fair to the instructor, and it's not terribly inclusive. And that's how I could almost guarantee that this initiative will have a bad rap. We also advocate that the integrity of the courses are maintained. We're not asking instructors to provide any additional accommodations that they would normally provide to any other student. Students have a choice of courses and activities. They're not limited to a preset, here are the 5 courses you can take. The course catalog is pretty much open. I'm not trying to say someone would start out an advanced medical course or something like that. I don't mean it that way. And we really, really emphasize, just remember what typical students do and not creating anything different. Okay. DVD.
All right, let me do that for just 1 second.
Let's see if the technology will work. It doesn't.